Shabbat Shalom. It is so wonderful to be together with all of you for this Shabbat, my second official Shabbat here in Louisville. I want to give a special shout out to Rabbi Rapport, who is in the Kahal tonight, and also to Craig and Elise, who are joining us on the Bima. Please join with me, Hine Matov, how wonderful it is that we are here together in this moment. Hine Matov, Umanayim, Shevet Achim, Gam Yachad. Hine Matov, Umanayim, Shevet Achim, Gam Yachad. Let's try that again. Hine Matov, Umanayim, Shevet Achim, Gam Yachad. Hine Matov, Umanayim, Shevet Achim, Gam Yachad. Repeat after me. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. You sound so beautiful. Let's do it again. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. Hine Matov, Umanayim, Shevet Achim, Gam Yachad. Hine Matov, Umanayim, Shevet Achim, Gam Yachad. One more time, Hine Matov, Umanayim, Shevet Achim, Gam Yachad. Hine Matov, Umanayim, Shevet Achim, Gam Yachad. It is my honor, my pleasure to invite to our Bima Susan and Ray Allen, who will lead us in our candle lighting and kiddush. We are on page 2, and I forget if it's the custom for everybody to rise. So if it is, please do so.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Amen. And we turn the page for kiddush. We sing the blessing. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. And now we turn the page for kiddush.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Praise to you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, creator of the fruit of the vine.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Amen. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And what? You get a hug too. Please be seated for just a moment. A little birdie told me that we have a tradition of celebrating anniversaries. So in honor of everybody, both online and here, that is a part of our synagogue family and beyond. We wish you a very happy anniversary. I don't think that we have gifts yet, but they are on their way. And so we sing Shehechianu together, thanking God for this amazing moment in time. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. We sing Amen. We turn in our Sidurim to page 20 as we welcome the Shabbat bride with the Chadudi verses 1, 5, and 9. Yalalalai l'Chadudi, yalalalai l'Krat Kalam, yalalalai Penei Shabbat, Penei Shabbat. Try that with me, yalalalai l'Chadudi, yalalalai l'Krat Kalam, yalalalai Penei Shabbat, Penei Shabbat, nikabelah. Shamur v'zachor, b'dibur echad. Ishmiyanu el hamiyuchad, Adonai echad, u'shemo echad, l'shemu tiferet, v'litehillah. Yalalai, yalalalai l'chadudi, yalalalai l'krat kalam, yalalalai Penei Shabbat, Penei Shabbat, nikabelah. Verse 5. Hitoreri, hitoreri, kivorek, kumiori, uri, uri, shir daveri, kivod Adonai, alayich nigla. Try with me, yalalalai l'chadudi, that's it. Yalalalai l'krat kalam, yalalalai Penei Shabbat, you've got it. Penei Shabbat, nikabelah. Boi v'shalom, ateret bala, ngam besimcha, u'v'tzola, tochebune, am segula, mo'ichala, mo'ichala. Yalalai, yalalalai l'chadudi, yalalalai l'krat kalam, yalalalai Penei Shabbat, Penei Shabbat, nikabelah. Yalalalai l'chadudi, yalalalai l'krat kalam, yalalalai Penei Shabbat, Penei Shabbat, nikabelah. We rise as we move into our formal call to worship, page 28, and I hope you will also forgive me because there is someone very special that I did not give a shout out to, who's in our hall, and that is Rabbi Galia Rooks. So, please join me as we chant Baruch Hu together. Friends, we are moving from our call to worship into our prayer of creation, a prayer of transition. As we make this shift, may we remember that from darkness came the light, and out of nothing came a breath, as in life. And there had to be a dark before there could be something called light. Earth needed an evening so that it could birth a dawn. We move in the darkness. In the darkest line looks almost inky black from where we walk, a bridge between twilight and daybreak. As we look closer, we can notice that a light seeps in. Ink to navy sifts through our fingers as the moon slides gently into the sun and then back, dancing together, a shadow, the darkness into light. Hold tight to that moving thread. Do not ever let it go. We are moving. We are almost there as we rise together now into that oneness that is Adonai for our calling of Shema on page 34. Shema. 41. Please join with me in the English. Sing the song of men and women joined in understanding and respect, the song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come, the song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, the soldier's home to leave no more, the song of a world redeemed, the song of peace. This week we need these words more than ever. Hashkivenu can be found on the top of page 43.
Be
now for our tefillah, our Amidah, our standing prayer, together on page 46. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Ve'konei Hakol, Ve'zocher Chasdei Avot ve'imahot, Umevi Gehula livnei v'neihem, Lima'an Shemo v'ahava, Melech Ozer u'Moshiach u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayei hakol atah Rav le'Hoshia, Morid hatam, Mechalkel chayim bechesed, Mechayei hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim verofei cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato, Lishenei afar, Micha mocha ba'al gevurot, Umidom elach, Melech mevit, Umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah l'hachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, U'kadoshim b'chol yom yehallelu Selah. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. Please be seated as we turn to page 61 and read together at the top our prayer for peace. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within its borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among all the inhabitants of every land. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praised are you, Eternal One, who blesses our people with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamivarech et amo Yisrael b'shalom. Shalom Rab, ha Yisrael amcha, hasim leolam. Shalom Rab, ha Yisrael amcha, hasim leolam. Ki atahu melech hanom, lechol hashalom. Ki atahu that spirit of praying for peace, we pray for peace and for healing of mind, body, soul, and spirit for all of those who are in our community, in our family circle, in our friendship circle. And as we join together in our Mishbeach prayer, I invite you to hold their names in your hearts. Voices. Voices and not violence. Words in the spirit of Parshat Chukat. Why have you brought us here to die? Velama he'elitunu mimitzrayim lehavi otanu el hamakom hara hazeh lo mikom zera, strange place. Ut ena v'gefen v'rimon umayim ayin lishtot. Here we are, into this strange place, God's holy congregation, without fig or grain to drink. Numbers 20, verse 5. The people cried. Lost in the void, they cried for Be'erah Shel Miriam's ever-flowing, abundant water, her nourishing sustenance evaporating as her soul ascended to God. Voices. Moses cried. Moses cried for his sister Miriam, prophetess, giver of life. Moses cried for himself, his exhaustion, his confusion, his loss of faith, although he did not yet know that it was lost. Moses cried for his people, for their tears, for their discomfort, and for his. Moses and Aaron fell before God. We are lost. It was supposed to be an easy ask. Take your rod, assemble your people. Dibartem al hasala, speak to them. Order the rocks, order them to bring water. And before your eyes, it will pour forth. From just a few verses later, Numbers 20, verse 8. Violence. Constricted, wretched with anger, frustration, sadness, grief, and fear, tears pouring from his soul for his loss, for their desperation and dependence. 2 strikes. The gift of water flowed toward the people. 2 strikes, a grievous error. Vayomer Adonai al Moshe ve'el Aharon Ya'an lo he'emantem bi lahakti sheni le'enei b'nei Yisrael lachin lo tavi'u et hakahal hazeh et haaretz asher natati lahem. O Moses, O Aaron, You forgot your faith. You forgot your faith in me. You forgot my charge. One who cannot affirm my holiness before my people cannot lead them into my promised land. Numbers 20, 11 through 12. Death consumes your heart. You forgot who cut the yoke of purity that I commanded. Your existence is in death, buried depth of your grief. You have acted impurely, striking instead of speaking. Contact with death debars you from contact with God. Words of Lord Rabbi Jonathan Sachs. This week we cried. We cried for our Independence Day filled with strikes, fire, and flames, bringing death to abundant and bright life. We cried for our fallen leaders. Senseless violence that seems to overtake our world. We are filled with rage and grief and confusion and fear, and yet it should be an easy ask. Speak to them, and water will pour forth. We may not want to speak, but to strike back, to gain vengeance as Moses lashed out in his grief. Voices, not violence. The hardest ask is gifting ourselves that grace, that time and space to separate the impure, our impulses to rage and to hit and to strike, and embrace that which is pure. Equity, equality, shared community, voice layered upon voice, cultivating purity is as slow as long drips of honey. But this is how we will reach our promised land. We cannot exist in death. We must live out of it, for violence will only cut off our souls from each other and from God. Our voices will allow our souls to rise together as one, to reach our highest potential and glory. Voices, not violence. Oh God, create a pure heart within me. God, create a pure heart within me and renew a true soul within. I invite you to learn this melody together with me. Can you hear our song? May this be God's will. First part goes like this. Create a pure heart in me, Great Spirit, create a pure heart in me. Now you try. Create a pure heart in me, Great Spirit, create a pure heart in me. Here's the second part. And renew a true soul within me, and renew a true soul within. Try that with me. And renew a true soul within me, and renew a true soul within. Create a pure heart. Create a pure heart in me, Great Spirit. Create a pure heart in me. Create a pure heart in me, Great Spirit. Create a pure heart in me, and renew a true soul within me, and renew a true soul within, and renew a true soul within me, and renew a true soul within. Please rise with me as we move towards our concluding prayers of our service with Aleinu on page 283. I'm used to saying 580. At the top. Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon ha'kol, la'atid gidula liotzer bereshit, shehu sam chelkenu ka liached et shemo, v'gor aleinu lehamlich malachuto, ve'anachnu korim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, lifnei melech, malchei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu v'nemar v'haya Adonai l'melech al kol haaretz v'yom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad. Please be seated. Our thoughts turn now to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we meditate, as we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. This week, we remember those names of Joshua Fink, Raymond Allen Sr., Ellen Briscoe, Hannah B. Bronner, Harvey Rooks, Adele Elkin, June Florman, Ida Pittleman, Eileen Renko, Molly Rosen, Alyssa Wellington, Alan Handmaker, Norma Jacobs, Bernard Cohen, Alan M. Shapiro, Samuel Steinberg, Carl K. Hellman, Mason Rudd, Herman Sandler, Norman Wasserman, Ida Gaddy, Virginia Graves, Jack R. Greenspan, Daniel Jacobson, Mark Kranz, Barbara Barbie Myers, Brick Burkos, Menachem Bloom, Mildred Goodman, Freddie Rothstein, Rita Stein, Gloria Kirsch, Bruce Krantz, Esther Mayerson, Rhoda Schwartz. In recent days, Donald Roderick Rod Thomas II. And today especially we remember the victims of the Independence Day Highland Park shooting, Catherine Goldstein, Irina McCarthy, Kevin McCarthy, Jacqueline Sondheim, Stephen Strauss, Nicholas Toledo Zaragoza, Eduardo Ubaldo, and former Japanese Prime Minister who was assassinated this week, Shinzo Abe. For all those whom we hold in our hearts, I invite you now to rise as we join together in our Mourner's Kaddish on page 294. Yit gadal v'yit kadash shemei rabba ve'alma tivrach yeruteh v'yamlich malachuteh v'chayechon v'yomechon uv'chayed dechol beit Yisrael ba'agala u'vizman hariv yimru amen. Yehei shemei rabba mevarach le'olam olamei almayam. Yit barach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal shemei dekudshah richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiron v'yalma v'yimru amen. Yehi Shalom Rabba Min Shemayim. V'chaim Aleinu ve'al Kol Yisrael v'yimru Amen. Oseh Shalom miromav. Hu ya'aseh Shalom. Aleinu ve'al Kol Yisrael v'yimru Amen. And please remain standing as we join in our closing song together on page 353. Another prayer for peace, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. And following our closing song, I'll invite everyone to join in Motzi together before we all walk through the invisible doorway to our Heidemann Social Hall. Please join with me. And I hope that as we walk together, we'll all have the opportunity to meet someone new. And I am brand new, so don't be shy. Ojavo Shalom Aleinu, Ojavo Shalom Aleinu, Ojavo Shalom Aleinu, Eyom Kulam, Ojavo Shalom Aleinu, Ojavo Shalom Aleinu, Ojavo Shalom Aleinu, Eyom Kulam, Salam, Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Shabbat shalom, everyone. B'te'avon. I look forward to meeting you out in our social hall.